They say some people walk into your life quietly, but Daniel didn't walk in. He appeared like a storm I didn't see coming. And by the time I realized what he meant to me, he was already slipping away. My name is Emily. I work in a small antique bookstore tucked between two coffee shops and a forgotten art gallery. It's the kind of place where stories live longer than people. And maybe that's why I stayed, because I was tired of people leaving. It was a rainy Thursday when he first stepped inside. Tall, slightly awkward, holding a water-damaged envelope and a confused smile. He said, "Do you sell ink pens? The kind that write like they mean it?" I didn't smile, but I pointed to the back shelf. He picked one, wrote something on the envelope, and left it on the counter. "For someone brave," he said, and walked out. I didn't open it. For days, I thought about that line. For someone brave. On the 7th day, I broke. Inside was a single sentence. "Write the letter you never sent." I didn't know his name, or where he lived. But he kept returning, not every day, just often enough to leave new envelopes, new prompts. What would you say if you weren't afraid? If love had a face, what would it look like? Why do you still wait by the window? And every time I wrote, pages, tears, honesty I never allowed myself. I never gave him the letters. But somehow, it felt like he'd already read them. One evening, as I was closing the shop, he stood at the doorway. "Do you ever write anything for yourself?" he asked. I whispered, "No, only replies to things no one asked me." He stepped closer. "Then ask me something." I hesitated, then said, "What are you really looking for?" He replied, "A reason to stay." That night, I wrote the longest letter of my life. It wasn't neat. It wasn't poetic. But it was honest. I didn't sign it. I left it on the counter, unsure if he'd ever come back. He didn't. Not that week. Not that month. I stopped waiting. Started believing maybe he was just a passing chapter in a longer book. Until one morning, nearly a year later, someone knocked on the bookstore window. Daniel. He held the letter I never signed. "I read it every night," he said. "And every time, I wished you'd written your name." I laughed, through tears. "I didn't think you'd come back." He smiled, holding out a small, velvet box. "I told you I was looking for a reason to stay. Turns out, it was always you." We got married 6 months later. No fancy halls. Just the bookstore, candles, and the letters we never meant to send. Because sometimes, love doesn't arrive shouting. It arrives in ink, in silence, in the courage to say what we almost never do.